Well, hello folks, we are back again. We have the water pump on the Allis from last time. What are we going to do now? Well, I don't like it looking like this, and if I leave it, it's going to get surface rust. So we're going to give the old water pump a paint up. I have some Allis orange that came with the tractor. And this is the paint this tank's done in. This tank is a much nicer shade of orange than this. Let me show you. You've probably noticed it before. But somebody has painted this whole tractor in like this wishy-washy, not very nice orange. This is a much more orange. Which orange is correct, I do not know. But it says here, AC orange. This is proper Tractol Allis Chalmers orange paint. So, rightly or wrongly, she's going to go this colour. Are we going to do all of it today? No. I have cleaned down the engine. So I've cleaned all that down with brake cleaner. I'll give her a Scotch-Brite. So the engine is ready to paint. Because somebody has done the head on this and not painted the head. So that's all going to get done. I think we got to get cracking. So guys, with our paint, there she is. Let's get some paint on the old bugger and see what this colour goes like. I bet that's going to be a horrible paint to cover. Oh yeah, she's not covering very well at all. Ah, I knew this colour weren't going to be very nice. That's why whoever painted this didn't do a particularly good job on the coverage, because this is one of them oranges that don't paint well and doesn't cover well. Oh dear. Ah well. This is exciting stuff for you guys, isn't it? I bet you didn't expect that you'd be watching a guy brush paint a tractor on your free night off. That would have been easy, you know, if I'd have got the spray gun out and just sprayed this damn thing. It really would. Hopefully, where they've been over the orange, oh, that's covering a lot better. See, now we've got an orange base to go over. It's actually covering really well, so it really is. Just this water pump is going to need a couple of coats. Come on in there. There you go. Yeah, it's just the virgin stuff what's going to need a couple of coats. I don't know whether I'm going to record all this for you guys to be subjected to, or whether we're going to cut it out. I don't know. You guys might want to see me do this. Some of you might find it therapeutic. But then again, you might not. I do really ought to whip the plugs out when I'm doing this, don't I? There's a bee landing on my paint, guys. A bee. A bee landed on the paint. Oh, this paint really don't cover very well. It really doesn't. But there you go. It is what it is, guys. It is what it is. Right, now we're done that front. So I want to get that done so we can be getting the bolt back on. You know, I need to get the bolts back on the old girl. Bolts, get the water pump back in. There you go. Am I going to strip off manifolds? Not from a tractor that runs well, I'm not, no. I'm really not going to be doing that. There we go. Brush painting is not my forte. I do well prefer spraying. But there you go. Before I drop that paint, I'm going to put it on the floor. Whatever's that just got in the paint. However well you clean something, you always pick up something that you didn't want in your paint. Always. I don't know how or why that happens, but it happened. Oh, I haven't done this governor linkage, look. There we go. Daubing him here, daubing him there. Paste and paper everywhere. Mother was stuck to the seal and the kids were stuck to the floor. When Father painted the parlour, you couldn't see him at all. There you go. Where'd that rhyme come from? Wasn't there a rhyme about when Father painted the parlour? I don't know. Oh yes, we're certainly getting in now. Oh, there we go. There we go. I've got to cut in around this magneto to make that look a little bit here and there. There we are. Oh, that's dry enough for a second coat. That's good. It is a balmy, about 34 degrees today. So it's hot. It is very hot. Good thing is this paint won't take long to dry. That is the good thing, guys. It won't take long to dry. And that's exactly what we want when we're in this heat. We want it to dry quick. Morning, John. I'm all right. I'm recording. That's the neighbour just coming to have a look. Oh, that's a lot better, guys, isn't it? Look at that. I want to give that water pump another coat, and then once we've painted this engine, hopefully this will be dry enough where we can... Oh, this old paint is so hot where that's been in the shed. That's like that's been thinned and it hasn't. Of course, she is like water. There we go. You what?
Too hot to paint.
Nice and warm, isn't it?
Yeah.
The old paint is thin though.
What?
The old paint is thin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that's because that's in the shed, John. That's got hot.
Got hot, yeah.
Good thing is, it won't take too long to dry, will it?
Oh no.
Alright. Oh, these water pumps are horrible things to paint. I really should have sprayed this. No, I got orange on my fan belt. No, we haven't. That's gone. What happened to my bit of rag? That's in here. I do.
Dab all over the place.
I know, I dab it everywhere. There you go. I didn't want... God, this old paint is horrible coverage. It really is. Alright, let me finish this engine block. There we go, guys. Now, the bonnet and that, when I come to spray the bonnet, or come to paint the bonnet, that will be sprayed. So I want to get a half decent finish on this. Engine block, not too worried about the finish, to be honest. As long as it looks nice and presentable, that's all I really worry about. There we go. There we go, guys. Where the hell? Oh, yes, she is looking much, much better in this different shade of orange. And where it's been painted orange, they've done me a favour because it's gone a little bit like primer. Whoops, that'll come off. So that's made a nice base to actually spray over. What's all this in here, look? What's all that in there? Right.
Nice to see someone work anyway.
That is, isn't it? That's getting a bit too warm for it, John.
Yeah.
That's why I'm doing the bugger it up. It's 9 in the morning.
Hey, come here. Come on. Start coming. Come on.
Alright, I don't suppose you guys want to watch me totally go around and paint this, because it could take a little while. So what I think we'll do, well, there's a run from the previous owner there. So what I think we'll do is we'll come back when I've done this little bit. I need to repaint that governor rod black. Not a problem, I can touch that in with a brush afterwards. Alright. There we go. Oh, it does cover much, much better.
Right, I'll see you a bit later.
All right, John.
Come on, doggy.
Well, dog's gone. Look, it does cover much, much better where it's already been painted orange, guys. It really does. Yeah, I'll get up there. Get up there. All right, he can sit there. I'm just going to nip over this axle while I'm here. There we are. Just so I can get a gist of exactly what she's going to look like in this brighter shade of orange, which I like much better, if I'm honest. Because I didn't like the wishy-washy orange someone had done it in. And you're going to say, oh, that's the right colour for an early tractor. Well, right or wrong, I didn't like it. So I'm doing it the Allis orange, which I believe probably could be off the later tractors, but I don't care. I like it better. And I can see now, when somebody painted this, the paint was like transparent. It weren't good at all. It was like you could see through it in places, which is why I'm doing this. And I can see why now, because the coverage is horrible. Absolutely horrible. But you do find some colours are like this. In case you didn't know, I actually used to be a paint sprayer. That is my trade. That is my trade, guys. When I left school, I went and got an apprenticeship as a mechanic. Or should I say a City and Guilds, I think we called it. But I never wanted to do mechanic, and I wanted to be a welder, truth be known. But there were no courses available for welding, because the government had just closed them all down. So they shoved me in college on a motor mechanics course. And I was like, lovely. which I didn't really ever enjoy, but I done it and completed it. And then a job came up at the local Ford dealer for a car valet. And my mate said, do you want to come be a car valet or at Grocer's? I said, gee, I'll come give this a go. And that car valet's job, I was there a year, and they said, when our paint sprayers are going, would you like to train as a paint sprayer? And I thought, you know, I would. So that was another course at Ford Training School in Essex. That was a course and some work, and yeah, I ended up being head painter at John Grove Sports Centre in Kings Lynn. Hence why my sort of knowledge of 90s Fords is quite good to a degree. Because it was the 90s stuff that I used to repair and work on when I was cutting my teeth, shall we say. Cool, that old paint is going dry. That water pump, oh, that's dry enough for another one. So this water pump is dry enough for another one. Maybe a 2-inch brush weren't needed here. Right. Cool. I'll tell you guys, it is so hot. The paint is really thin, which is not making it the best to paint, if I'm honest. Because it's just running everywhere. Aeroplanes are coming over, guys. How? 6 of them. I'm still here, aren't I? I weren't sure I'd be recording all this, but I clearly am recording it all, aren't I? I wonder if you guys are still watching. Or do I edit this bit out? I don't know. We'll see if we can find something to talk about, won't we? If you hear me burbling on about something, you might keep watching. Somebody actually said to me at the weekend, I'm going to be hated by so many wives who say, not hated, but that I have so many wives say, oh my God, I hear you every night on the television. My husband watches you every night. And I'm like, oh well, I do apologise. So if there's any of you wives listening now, well, you're in your crossword or making a cup of tea or doing something else, and you hear these Dorset tones of a man in a cave, I do apologise. Yes, seems like he is watching me. And hello, all the wives out there. Not that I don't have dedicated female viewers. We are not sexist on this channel. Right. Ah, oh, this is terrible. This paint is absolutely awful to paint. Right, all I wanted to do was the engine. I'll do the rest another time. I just wanted to get this engine, like, painted, so I can really be getting her back together. I did scrape all the paint off this to get the serial numbers to register it, so I might need to just paint that again. There you go. There you go. Oh, that's hot, guys. Sweat is dripping off me. Right. I'm going to call this a wrap here. I'll clean my brush out, and we will be back and put the water pump down and put the builder back up. Back in a minute. So guys, while this is drying, look at that wasp. Here is our pulley, what we were getting in the muddle with. Turns out, it just 3 spins on this shaft. I've painted up the inside, not where the belt goes, just on the inside. I haven't painted this because we need this to be able to spin, and I'll show you how that works. These square holes, what you actually do is, you shove this in where your slot is, and you get that square bolt. If I can do this, you put that square bolt through the hole, turn him so he locks, and there's a little locking tab here. I don't know whether you can see that. He goes on like so, and then your nut goes on, and then what happens is, as you turn that, that opens and closes your fan belt, look. Isn't that fabulous? But that was just a demonstration. Before I put this together, no, I'm not going to paint this, because if we want to adjust the fan belt, we don't want the aggravation. We don't want the aggravation of this being seized up. So what I'm going to do, I have spray copper grease. So I'm just going to spray copper grease that bare metal around here, not where the belt goes. So we're not getting this where the belt goes. This will do a couple of things. It'll stop corrosion, and it'll make sure that this thing spins much more. Look at that. That is spinning so much nicer. And this stuff sort of don't go hard, so to speak. It just, yeah, it just stays so. Right. So we'll get our bolt back in. There we go. Twist him. No, he is locked through. Put the little tab on, and then we can be getting this bolted back up. Now what we do is we turn this all the way out, so we've got a wide gap. I am going to need a rag, because as careful as I've been, that stuff has ran itself down into the thing. So everything's had a wipe off. This paint is nice and dry. I think we can be getting. So we put our belt on, like so. And then this. Our belt's not on the bottom pulley, there you go. And then this comes up and over like so. and then we can bolt on there we go. We can bolt on our fan, and then I'll show you guys how you tension these up. Let's get our 4 bolts and our ratchet. We'll get our fan back on, because he holds all on there with the same bolts. All right, that's one in. That's 2. That's 3. That's 4. So let's rattle these down. With my fancy new ratchet. Right, as you can see, we have a sloppy fan belt, no good to anybody. But what we do, and you'll like this, yeah, there's a hole here, look, see that hole where I'm pointing? If we tap, that actually tightens this whole pulley up. I'll try and get in here so you can actually see what I don't know how well you're going to see it. But if we use a punch, we can tap this and that actually draws up this pulley. Come on, get you in there, sunshine. Ah, there we go. So you take the sort of slack out, do that as much as you can, and then just tap. And then tap this. And it'll actually tighten the pulley up. I'm past the other square hole. Oh yeah. Can you see that's moving? And that's our belt tensions, look. That belt is tension, so we now do our nut up, and we know we've got the correct, we've got good tension on that belt. I am most impressed with that. Is this the same size socket? It is. There we go. That is all tightened. So our belt now is tensioned up. That's how they work, guys. So what we will do, I want a bit more copper grease. The magneto is disconnected on this, but we don't want this seizing up, guys. Hence why I'm putting a bit of copper grease in there. It'll stop it rusting, and if we ever need to adjust it, we can. Now, are you guys going to tell me I've done a critical error here and done something what I shouldn't have done in the wrong order, so I've got to take it all apart? I don't think so. Our belt is on. That's very good. Right, I think we need to go down to the house and flush the radiator out with some water, because there was silt come out of that when we took this to bits. So guys, we are down near the house with our radiator. I'm going to give it a flush out and see what colour water is coming out the bottom here. Look at that. Look at that brown sludgy stuff. So we just want to give this radiator a bit of a flush. There's a bit of crud coming out, but not as much as I thought. I thought there would have been a lot more crud come out of there than there actually is. Right. Now, she's pretty clean, guys. Right, guys, I think we've flushed this radiator. We can be getting the radiator back on. Lining the bolt holes up. That's in at the bottom. Top hose. Nope, that ain't right. Nope, that ain't right. Come on, top hose. There you go. There you go. We were all rumpled. Now we're not. So we can be getting our clips back on here now. Hopefully. Right, let me faffle around and get these clips lined up. Come on. There you go. These clips are not as good as proper Jubilees, but nobody's told me these aren't the ones that should have, so these are the ones what's staying, I'm afraid. There we go. There we are. Ah. That one was tight. This one's tight. Right, we need to get the bottom hose on now if we can. What sort of job has this got to be to get on? Come on, get in there. And you, get up there. Come on. Is that going on? Yep, that's on there, guys. There you go. Bottom hose back on as well. There we go. Sorry, you can't see a thing I'm doing here, can you? There we go. And this one. That one's tightened already. There we are, guys. Right. That is the old girl fitted back up. Not going to put the bonnet on yet, because I do want to run her up a bit first. But we will just put on the nuts and washers for the radiator. There we go. There we are, guys. Get a spanner and just tighten them buggers up. And I think we're going to be pretty close to getting some water in her. There we go, that's one. There's two. Right you are. This is most excellent, guys. Right, are we ready to dump some water in the old bugger and make sure she don't leak? Do you know, I believe it's time. I believe it is time. Let me go get some water and we'll get some water in her. So what we're doing, guys, I don't want to spill water anywhere. So I'm jamming, that funnel's too big. I'm going to put a funnel in so I don't spill that. Alright, there we go. I hate watering cans because they always spurt too much. Let's see if we can get some of this in and not have any leaks. I guess we'll see, won't we? I'm looking. I can see no leaks. I'm not putting coolant, I'm not putting antifreeze in yet because I don't know if we've got any leaks. I hope not. Oops, I didn't turn the drain tap off, look. Didn't turn the drain tap off, guys. That's off now. So we're starting to get into the crux of the engine because we're clearly up to that drain tap. Alright, that's one can. Let's try another can. Let me come around this side. Alright, we've still got a ways to go yet, guys. I don't want to overfill it so we get water everywhere. Oh, we've got a little way to go yet. Right, it's now starting to fill the header up. There we go, guys. She is full of water. Excellent. Right. Better show you guys in there, hadn't I? We are full of water now. There you go. Let's have a look for leaks. There shouldn't be any leaks because we've got a brand new water pump. So we shouldn't have any. There never was leaks around this side. Where it was leaking was out the back of that water pump. So I think we have solved our water pump leak now. Definitely. I think that's solved. Right, I think that's all we're going to do in this video, because it's getting plenty long enough for you guys to see me painting and messing about. I was going to put the bonnet back on and give her a run. Problem with that is, I'm gonna, while the bonnet is off, I was actually gonna get that sanded and get that ready to spray to save me taking it on and off. So I think, yes, we are gonna leave the video here. Yeah, we'll leave the video here, guys. And yeah, we'll be back another time, because I do want to get this bonnet prepared before I fit it back on. Because the old girl is going to have a respray on the bonnet, radiator, the nose cone. It is all going to get a respray. But I'm going to leave this, keep an eye on that water level. In fact, what I'll do is, I'll put the rad cap back on when I can find it. That's here. And as she heats up in the sun, because it is very, very hot today, as she heats up in the sun, hopefully a bit of pressure will build up, and if we've got any leaks, they'll make themselves obvious. We will see, won't we? But at the minute, everything is bone dry, which I'm happy with. So that's going to be it, guys. Thank you very much for another instalment on the Allis Charmers, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye for now. Ha-ha!